Hey guys, it's Lucid, and welcome back to another episode of Your Dreams, My Memes, where we've got some of the silliest builds I've ever seen, and people are playing the hell out of them. So we have a message from Caleb. I don't think I've ever been so poor in my life. This turn, I'll take advantage, or take the Troglodyte Cave, and the next turn, the Undead Province to the west. After that, I'll move everything south towards Tirnanog. My first objective will be to take his fort to the northwest. Hopefully, I can sync this attack up with Helheim. Not sure what Miklin was doing this last turn. I hope he killed some steroid boys. So he did, but actually just kind of through an accident. And the steroid boys really have just been getting murdered by TNG. I mean, he's gotten so unlucky with all the bumps. And normally, Tirnanog normally does pretty well in the bumps. Like, elves you normally don't want to bump into. But he's just been, like, people have just sent doom stacks towards wherever TNN is. Like that Miklin stack was like the Miklin Doom stack. That force from TNG was like the TNG Doom stack. It's been kind of unfortunate. Okay. Also, if you have an excess of gold, please send it my way. I won't be doing that. I wonder if he's going to try and rush my cap down right now. I guess I need to patrol. Damn it! Oh no, you've activated the Grippa cap defense card. Grippa attacks out, actually. Okay, so Grippa being aggressive. So this is the army. Oh, God. The problem is you're like, okay, we'll separate. Like, you've now got to kill the commander before these guys kill your guys. I don't see... I'm like, what the fuck's going to happen, Grippa? How's this going to go, buddy? Oh, no, they don't get the commander. I mean, there's a chance of they landing right on top of the commander. There's two commanders they have to kill, though. And meanwhile... oh, God. Yeah, maybe if you had a couple guys just on attack closest, they could have held the army up enough. I mean, these guys still landed in the wrong spot. There's Dawn Guard mixed in here, too. Grippa. He's got a Sultan, too. I guess he patrolled the cap with the Sultan. But you actually don't need to. Where did he move? So Grippa just attacked out. Okay, he moved here to catch him. Where's the Sultan? Sultan's here. Yeah, I don't know. I think if you just have, like, Stone Skin, the Sultan could probably take this. Maybe you need more. There are some... How many Dawn Guard are here? Only 4? No Dawn Guard here. I'm a little worried from the lack of Dawn Guard. I like to some degree, I like the javelins, but I feel like you want Dawn Guard. All right, so this is heating up. Will we finally see somebody put Grippa down without Grippa having a prolonged cap defense? We'll see. But this, you should just know if you're in Hinam's position, Grippa's used to fighting from his back. All right. This is it's not like, oh no, we have Grippa off balance. Grippa's like settling into the zone. He's like, okay, I know what to do here. That said, shame Grippa. I don't know how that was supposed to work. I guess this would have worked if he moved out. So Grippa was thinking he's going to move here. And he's got he's got 6 PD, and then these guys are going to attack rear, and then these guys are going to cut off the retreat route. That's what Grippa was thinking. But if these guys stayed, he was in a bad way, apparently. Okay. Miklin. Oh, boy. So Miklin's consolidated an army here. He's rebid for some of the mercs, but he's going to have to rebid for more of them this turn. And he's lost the archers and the raiders of the Silver Steppe. And these were actually the key component in this army. Or a key component, right? They're here for this battle, but they're not going to be here hereafter. And those were really important for these guys taking a major fight. He's also had all of this stuff raided back from him. We have a battle here with Miklin. striking out into Helheim. So he's got a bunch of these lizards, which are kind of okay, except they have really bad morale. They're really killy. And he's also got a lot of imps. I don't think this is the right timing necessarily. Okay. The imps are a great call here. And it ended up working out just fine. I don't love the placement of the lizards. I feel like you want the lizards to hit on a flank or to hit from the side. Right now they're taking too much of the blow. You want them really like looping around behind or something. And I don't think this is optional because these guys have really bad morale. They're about to run. Yeah, the lizards go. It's really like hammer and anvil, right? The jags are the anvil. You want the lizards to be the hammer and maybe hit on a flank. We're not seeing a ton of all checks. And the fear starting to whittle these guys down. He can lose a fear roll pretty soon. But it looks like they're going to just kill him the old-fashioned way. Getting rid of glamour with archers would make a really big difference here, too. I like that Miklin struck out, right? Because, like, sitting there and patrolling your cap is kind of it always feels really bad. Because, like, you're not really playing to win when you're doing that. Okay, the mages get away, at least. That's a silver lining. Only kills 2 of these guys, though. Could he have won it with better scripting? Maybe. Maybe with a few more priests doing imps. Maybe if the lizards were on a flank. It was going to be hard, though. Maybe with a few more archers of some kind. But now he's in a desperate, desperate spot. Because I don't think this army, without the archers, it can maybe kill one of these things individually, right? Like, but it's going to really struggle against 15... Hellherdings. I mean, you need these archers. They're the things that's actually going to damage the Hellherdings. And even if it's just popping glamour, that's a big deal. Oh boy. I don't know what Miklin's going to do now. I think it's like checkmate right now. Now, Kirby turned this around. He lost his god at the Trog province. Which hilariously Caleb just took. Where's his god now? His god's in the capital. You do want the god out getting corpses. Maybe I'm not sure where there's corpses and where there's not. Oh boy, spicy. I forget this. How much blood does Helheim get? I know they get it on the Van Jarls. Is that the only? That's probably it. I'm gonna look. So Caleb's taken this out. Only loses 3 birds. That's pretty impressive. Oh, the archer's doing some work. I mean, that's beautiful. I think Kirby lost a god here. Very nice. He's got Eagle King outside searching, I dig. And then he's going to hit this on the way back down to attack Tirnanog. All right, look at that. TNG did not move this army out after he won this bump with TNN. He's got a big army here. I wonder if he's going for Pan or if he's going for this throne. I don't know where he's going. Oh, they're stuck. Maybe he has to fight this. I don't know if he can win. This 300, this is a big army. And this is not what you want to be running Warriors of the Five Elements into. These Warriors of the Five Elements are for killing elites. With a big stack of archers and stuff. Oh god, please don't attack here. I think he's going to lose this if he attacks. But this army's stuck. He can't get it out. I mean, he does have Cold Dominion. So maybe if he preaches here, he can get some temp scales and then cross. But he is stuck. That is funny. Okay. And this is like his big army. This is really, really inconvenient for him. Fortunately, nobody's attacking him. If somebody attacked him now, nobody did. This is like most of his sacreds. Okay. We have Veritos advancing. Pangea with a reprisal, taking back this land. But Veritos has moved almost everything into this army. He's got 16 Colossi warriors. I think Pan has to like bring everything he's got. But he also can't, especially if you're relying on the javelins, you can't really fight into PD. He does have the Vola. He has a Titan. That comes with this Pangea build. So that is the other option, is that, you know, maybe you don't hit this with your Centaurs. Maybe you hit this with the Titan. A Titan's not really going to be bothered by ethereal or fire resistance, right? You can make some kind of fire resistant gear, I assume, or trade for it. You know, just like Abyssia, you can pay Abyssia enough gems to make you a ring of fire, right? You cast like it regen, you maybe put some armor on, and then go try to blend her into these guys. Basically, you know, if all you've got is a hammer, and this is a screw, and you need a Phillips screwdriver, like, you don't hit the screw, right, with the hammer. You whip out your pocket knife, which is not a good tool. You don't want to use the screwdriver on your pocket knife, but you use the Phillips head thing, and you try to do the best you can with it. So, probably, I wonder if any of you guys said that last episode. I don't know if y'all noticed or remembered the Vola. So that's maybe the tool I would look to use. All right. Tianchi, Veritos, Pangea, we've covered that. Ulm has backtracked. Did not want to hold the fight here. Has 1 PD and has been gathering more troops. Maybe they raid over this way. But even this is a dangerous raid because Lanka can come up. It looks like... Do we have a message from Lanka? No, it looks like they've made peace. But this is a big, scary army from Abyssia, presumably to take out these guys. But this could also be coming to attack Lanka. We'll have to see. Hard to know. And I think that's it for this turn. So let's go ahead and pull up the next turn. All right, in the next turn, turn 17, a message from Helheim. I think that Miklin's Bless does not match up well against mine, unfortunately for him. A message from Ubar. Attack rear doesn't like me. That worked 4 out of 5 times in test games, goddammit. Against that army, Grippa? What are you talking about? You must be smoking crack. There were 2 commanders back there. You had like 5 Jinn and a dream. Okay. Let's start with Grippa. Hinnom attacks fun wagons and all right into Grippa. And this is, I think, the province to the west of Grippa's cap. An attack rear not working. The javelins coming out. I was wondering how effective the javelins would be. Okay, I mean, they are killing these guys in reasonably short order. Weren't there more? So Grippa, of course, sending them in piecemeal. There's a weak link in your strategy, Grippa. Now, if these guys chopped up the commanders right at the beginning, you know, this could have worked, but for shame, Grippa, for shame. You might have honestly just been better on attack closest with this. I mean, really, like, there's only 4 Dawn Guard. The javelins would have hurt. I don't think there's a way around it. I liked a little bit the idea. Maybe you do like a couple guys to go bait the javelins like he did. Like the couple guys attacking closest at the beginning. That might have been intentional to bait javelins. That would have been smart. And then you have the rest on hold and attack closest. And that way you don't get your commander sniped. Because I think as long as you get rid of the javelins, I feel like the Jinn Warrior are probably going to win this battle. But what do I know? Oh, and Grippa comes out with the Sultans. Or Sultan and his bodyguard. Stoneskin Blessing. For those of you who don't know, these guys have ridiculous, like, Nifl Jarl levels of Heat Aura. Heat Aura 9. And then with Fate Weaving, it's going to be a whole lot, especially with this guy here as well. Heat Aura 4. So, Grippa, where you at? Oh, so he moved and attacked up here. So Grippa moved this army up here. Got his ass kicked. They retreat here at least. Takes this back, but he's got another Sultan now. And I think just the fact these guys have moved out of the cap ring means he doesn't need to spend one of the Sultan turns patrolling the cap. So presumably we're going to see 2 of the Sultans move out. And he might have... He did Stone Skin in this fight, but he might have Iron Skin now. And Iron Skin also means Mist Form. Okay, so that's pretty spicy. This is a pretty big Doom stack, and I like the idea of the javelins, but we just saw Grippa showing that he can bait them out. And so relying on the nice thing about it is it's going to get past like the unseen business. But if you can bait out the javelins, then you really need Dawn Guard. So I think he's making the wrong unit. I can't remember. I should know if they're cap only. No, they're not. You can make them everywhere. Yeah, these guys are going to fuck up Jin. I don't know how they're going to do against the Sultans, though. But definitely a lot better than these troops are going to do against him. Okay. Oh boy. Helheim brings all the forces together and goes on top of Miklin's capital. And one of the things the elves are not good at is sieging forts, but Miklin has very weak fort sieging. Oh, they sniped the commander, I think, or they sniped something in the back. There's some Jags over here. Did they get blessed? They did. No, the commander's dead. I think that was the last one. Maybe there's another one hidden somewhere. Yeah. See, I think if you had these slingers pelting these guys while you had the Jags in the front line, I think it could have worked. But as it stands, no Hell Heraldings die. And Miklin's moving this army back home, but will it be there in time? The fort is not cracked yet, so it presumably will. Now, Helheim could move his forces here and catch this force of Miklin, which if he does that, it's basically game over. And then sit back on top of the fort. But yeah, I think this could have gone differently for Miklin. I think probably he was playing at a disadvantage a bit with the Bless matchup. But he kind of also just got a little picked apart. And really needed to combine, I think, the archers and the... You know, I think he had needed to combine his forces in general and Doomstack at the elf cap. But probably with a pretty big archer support squad, too. Primarily just to pop glamour. You know, it's also possible stuff like Tangle Vines can help, which... where is it? Is it an enchantment? I thought, isn't there a spell called Tangle Vines? I've like literally hardly ever used this. I'm assuming it exists. I mean, it could just be Vine Arrow. No, what is it that indie mages cast at you? I've probably like passed over it here. Is it Conjuration? Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, I mean, it could just be these guys, having a few of these guys like Nahuli on Advance and Cast doing Tangle Vines could make a huge difference. So I think there's like a few kind of technical ways that you could kind of win this. Swarm would also be pretty good, just because it would probably help harass these guys down. The Imps was a great call that he did. It's kind of like, you know, one of the ways to look at it is like how technical, like how much finesse does something require? And I think the Miklin thing actually required a decent amount of finesse against Helheim. And if things don't just quite line up right, you're in a bad spot. And I think that's what we saw happen. So it'll be interesting to see what Miklin does on his way out. But he's in a very rough spot right now. I mean, he was basically checkmate last turn. But okay, cool. And then Helheim following up behind him takes this out. Let's come back here, and we've already done this business here with Hinnom and Ubar. Kalum, they take out these undead, and they are moving south, and we're starting to see these guys mass. We've got a lot of Kavi archers, a lot of Spirehorn warriors, and more Spirehorn warriors over here. Oh my god. TNG went for the throne. They are trying to break out, and they have brought everybody. That's a lot of archers. That definitely did damage. They're casting Swarm, though. They're going to lose a lot of these Warriors of the Five Elements, though. If nothing else, just a friendly fire from these archers. And, like, they are not tanks, right? You don't want them having to fight chaff. Ooh, Shadow Blast coming out. A lot of these are mercs that TNG bought as well. Banishment. And you don't want these Warriors of the Five Elements fighting chaff. They are anti-elite. But when they're all you got, I guess you use them. Yeah, a lot of friendly fire from these archers. We're going to look at the battle report at the end. I bet you the Long Dead hardly killed anything. I think he did have to sacrifice... I mean, he had to sacrifice something, because these guys are making a tremendous amount of Long Dead here. Oh, God. That's a lot of raised dead. And now everybody's out of ammo. Oh, God. This is so close. Fortunately, Solus are just garbage in melee. Oh, but he takes it. But at grievous cost. It's like, you took this, but you're now incapable of basically fighting a first war. It's the Throne of Death, which you're already Death 3, so you might as well claim. Gets attacked by barbs here. If he were getting attacked right now, that would be basically the end. Like, if somebody decides to attack him, he's boned. The thing that's good about that is, like, Pangea and Veritos are fighting. Tirnanog has already had a rough go of it, and Lanka's already fighting, so he's kind of safe from that. So I guess it makes sense if he knew all that, but it's risky. On the Pangea Veritos front, okay, we've got a fight. Small squad of centaurs. So I think this is if he's going to do attack rear, they'll go for these guys. But I don't think they're doing attack rear. Okay, he's doing the javelins. So he knows I've got to javelin these guys. It looks like they're even javelining over these guys trying to hit these dudes in the back. Sadly, none of that lands. And now there's a large number of Colossi warriors. Oh. So he's trying to do the javelin thing. I like it. But oh god, these hoof attacks. This is not good. He's protected his mage with these guard commander. Oh gosh. So he kind of went for the approach like, hey, I'm going to raid behind you where I don't think you are. And then Veritos is like, surprise, I'm here. Catches a black harpy. Catches a black harpy. Black harpy, okay. And then he takes this. Okay, now Pangea moves out here in force, and he has brought the Vola. How is she equipped? Just a few gems. But water 10. Nature 2. I mean, she can do moss body, personal regen, liquid body. She can do a bunch of things. I think with the kit, I mean, you can pretty easily make lion pelts. I think with lion pelt, I mean, she's got a really strong mirror image, as you can see. Moss body. She's got a lot of things she can cast. I think the most important thing is trading for like a Ring of Fire from Veritos. I mean, from Abyssia or somebody. And Abyssia, as a neighbor of Veritos, should be inclined to trade that with you. Not looking good for Pangea right now, and I don't really like how he's using the god. The god, this isn't the high value use of the god. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what it was going to cast, to be honest. Okay, here's the one thing about using the god. Does he do it? No. One thing you could try to do. With the god, they start off blessed, so you don't have to do divine blessing or anything. You put these guys all in the front on a line, and you put them on attack rear, and they will potentially hit and kill these guys before blessing even goes off from the enemy side. So it's like you're fighting Veritos without a bless. That is a legit use for the god if you're not going to kit them up and try to use them as a thug or something. Whoops. So, wait, where are we? Here we go. So yeah, not looking good for Pangea right now, but there's a big Pangea stack, so we'll just have to see what happens when they actually fight. But, you know, he took some significant losses here. That's a turn of cap production, really inflicting no damage on Veritos. And Veritos is up in land. So right now it's looking rough, though it remains to be seen what's going to happen. Tianchi we've already seen. They've got the Throne of Death now, but at grievous cost. Coming over to Ulm, they patrol out a Black Harpy from Pangea, and Lanka attacks. Moving closer to this Ulm stack, which has been poking at them. There's now a pretty large amount of demons. And what I like, I was kind of hoping to see this. He's making the Rakshasas. Because you don't really care about the armor and the other things. You really just... There's actually some guys who's even cheaper. It's the like fat dudes. And they're lower blood slave per dude, and they have more hit points, which is kind of what you want here. The other nice thing about Lanka in this map is that almost everybody's got turmoil scales. So they've got that going for them. Okay, Abyssia attacks and takes this Barb province out. It remains to be seen if they're going to be friendly with Lanka. We haven't heard anything in Diplo. Okay, all moving over this way. I think the problem here is, like, I think Lanka can move here from the cap. But if this guy really PD dumps, I think you PD dump here. Like, the slingers are going to be decent. The hoplites are going to be decent. I think you PD dump the shit out of this and take a fight with Lanka here next turn. Because Lanka's basically going to attack you. Like, you know that. But I think with a lot of PD, it's pretty good against Lanka. You know, like the archers are going to be good. They, you know, and the other stuff, like these guys have no armor, right? So like Fire Shield will be okay at mitigating, like dealing with chaff, but I think like you have PD in the middle and you have your Steel Warriors hit on a flank. You kind of could crush them. So that's interesting, and I believe that covers that whole column. I'm looking pretty okay, but there's still a lot to be resolved in this conflict. Lanka moving over this way. Oh, taking this from Abyssia, implying maybe they're fighting? I'm not sure. Though maybe that was just part of a negotiation. But they definitely seem to be running from this army of Steel Warriors. There's a lot of warrior chiefs here. Some scouts. I think he's worried about assassins, because this is a lot of commander chaff. More than you would expect. And I believe we've already covered Hinam and Ubar. So that brings us to the end of this turn. And at 29 minutes, I think we'll call it here. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.